Today, I'm going to talk about my experience with women, how to attract the right women, and what is the right woman. And so,
I just put up on the side. I let it get surprised. I'm on the program and closing my eyes. I can't even tell you nothing but you lie. I had to cut my ties. I can't even tell her nothing because I cried. I just want these things.
welcome back to another New Original Things video, New Original Things vlog, channel, whatever you want to call it. It is 11:43 p.m. I've been working since 6:30 a.m. So do the math on that. That's why I'm kind of squinting. I'm pretty tired, I'm pretty exhausted. It's December 12th, or December 11th actually, 2024. Flow Forward Media, my company, has been blowing up. It's been surging for quarter four. It's growing faster than I ever expected it. We're hitting goals, we're hitting markers way quicker. We're expanding our team, we're landing big projects. So that is why I haven't been able to make a YouTube video just like this one. So I thought, at 11:45 now p.m. That I make a YouTube video. I just got the inspiration and the creative urge to do it. So today I'm going to talk about my experience with women, how to attract the right women, and what is the right woman. Because I see a lot of guys my age, guys that are younger, guys that are older. It's just a struggle. It seems like an ongoing struggle. And the more and more time progresses, I feel like male loneliness, male insecurity increases, fertility rates are dropping. Like, it's kind of crazy, all the things that are happening right now. This video is just made to shed light on some positive news, give advice, just kind of show the young men out there how to combat everything that's going against them right now and how to become the best version of themselves. Truly, in order to attract the right woman and become the best man you can become and the best family man and lead an amazing family and live an amazing legacy as well. And so let me talk to you about my experience with women. Well, my experience with women matches my baseball career and my business career, because it always is like flatline for a long time, and then it like spikes, and then it'll flatline, but then it'll spike even higher. But it very rarely takes a really big dip. It's usually just here, flatline here, flatline here. Baseball career, business career has been like that, blessed by God. Same with my experience with women. Like, when I was younger, I was so focused on baseball that I never even thought about girls. Like, in high school, like junior high, middle school, like I liked girls. Like, I thought women were hot and stuff like that, but I never like actually pursued them. I was just focused on baseball, and which, looking back, I think was a huge benefit. But then I got to college, and then what I realized was, because of my lack of experience, I was basically burning a lot of bridges, not understanding how to communicate with women, not understanding the whole dating process, even the communication process with women. I just kind of treated them like one of the guys almost, because that's what I was used to. Not in an intimate way, but just in a communication way. So I kind of learned the hard way. Dates kept falling off. I kept getting ghosted. Like, I thought I was just like ugly at one point. Like, it was kind of a big insecurity. I didn't really know what was wrong with me. But then I realized it wasn't a looks thing. It was more of my approach towards women. I had the same approach towards a woman I would have towards average, guy that I'd see on the street. I'd, say, "What's up, bro?" And like, I'd be very masculine and kind of rough, aggressive, and the things that, like, the way that you would act if you were a guy talking to another one of your guys, one of your brothers, and kind of like that. And so what I realized, I had to kind of tone it down and kind of position myself a little differently. Once I started doing that, that's when the surge happened. And not go into too much detail, I kind of made up for lost time. Was it beneficial? Was it positive? I kind of look back and regret a lot of it. But I will say this, I learned a lot, and I wouldn't be the man I am today without those experiences, whether that be negative or positive, when I was making up for the lost time. Everything that's happened in the last 5-6 years, I'm very thankful. I think every experience ends up being a positive experience, because it puts you in the position you are now. That's like my experience and my journey. And now I have an awesome, amazing girlfriend. And I don't think I would have even attracted my girlfriend without the couple tips that I'm gonna give you today for that young man who may be struggling with loneliness, insecurity, and quite frankly, singleness. So a couple things that really helped me that I see a lot of men struggle with right now is finding their purpose. Because as men, we're just told like, hey, we need to figure out, to do something and do it well, but like, what do we even do, right? And so finding something you love, maybe it's a hobby, maybe it's a career pursuit, maybe it's just a business endeavor, or maybe it's a sport. Finding something you love and going all in. Women love seeing a man who has aspirations and desires, because ideally most women are looking for providers and protectors and leaders of the household, if we're going by traditional family values here, which I go by, which my girlfriend goes by. And so, number one, women are looking for someone who's motivated, who's gonna get up, who's gonna take charge. And I see a lot of men right now, they're motivated, but they only do things when they're motivated. And what men need to realize, what you need to realize if you're watching this and if you're young and you're single, or if you're old and single, that like, you need to take charge of your life and you need to do things regardless how you feel. Because when you have a family one day, you're gonna have to do things. You're gonna have to get the job done regardless how you feel. You're gonna have to feed your kids and go and work and make money and put a roof over their head regardless how you feel. So practice those keystone habits today, because it's gonna help you in the long run. In addition, what I see is a lot of men don't understand women enough. And I'm still learning this. I'm just giving you my 2 cents. And 2 years from now, this whole video, this whole concept could change for me. But what I realized was, like I said earlier, I was so aggressive. I was so like, hey, what's up, and like kind of in their face when I was young and single. And what I realized is it didn't really work well for me. And so being a little more delicate, not losing your masculinity, but being a little more soft-spoken, coming off a little more harmless than so aggressive. Because if you are so aggressive, women feel pressured, and that's a scary feeling for most women. And so coming off a little more harmless, a little more chill, a little more sleek, is something that's really going to attract them. It's going to make them feel comfortable around you. Because if you're like so freaking crazy and wild and intense, like it's like going to a car dealership and getting pitched by like a used car salesman. Like, it's no fun for anyone, right? So that's another thing, that if you can switch the way you act in your positioning, in your tonality, and be a little more soft-spoken and a little more smooth and a little more like suave, a lot of women are going to like that. My next point is that women love leaders. If you follow traditional family values, men are supposed to be the providers and the protectors and the leader of the household. And when you're looking at men today, there just seems like they're afraid to lead. Like, I hear a lot of women complain that like, I feel like I have to do everything. I feel like I have to schedule all the dinners and all the plans. Like, he doesn't take charge at all. And so as a man in this generation, if you can just lead and take charge, you've already won 90% of the battle, and you've already beat like 90% of your competition. And at the end of the day, this is war. This is war. There's thousands of people fighting for the one girl that you like. There's thousands of people fighting for that one position on the podium that you like, that you want. There's thousands of people fighting for that one position on social media that you want. And so it's a constant and endless competition as a man. And so to be a leader, to be different than the common man, is going to put you in a better position to, as I say, close the deal or, get the girl. Or lastly, I see a lot of guys, they try to ask me like, what do you do? Do you use pickup lines or this or that? And what I tell them is, a pickup line and this and that and like scripted jokes is not going to work. You can only run off a script for so long. So therefore, trash the pickup line, trash the script, and be yourself. If the girl doesn't like you because of who you are, guess what? She's probably not the one meant for you. And so when you're approaching women, be yourself. But what I will say is when you are finally dating them and finally have them in the door, as we say in sales, because ultimately dating is sales. It's selling yourself to be the best version of yourself you can be, and trying to attract the opposite gender to date you and eventually marry you. And so one of the things that I do and that I've done, and if my girlfriend's watching this, surprise, is be a little more secretive. I think women love a mystery. I remember when I was first dating my girlfriend, she would ask me what I did, and I was like, oh, I just run a business. And for probably a month straight, she didn't even know what I did for a living. She could have thought I was some crazy business mogul or artist or just an average Joe, but she didn't know what I did for a living. And then surprising her with surprise trips. I surprised her to with a trip to California, all expenses paid, this and that, boom. Or if you can't do that, surprise your girl with the little things. My girlfriend, I remember she would come over, I'd make her dinner and stuff like that, and she'd be surprised. And then after dinner, I'd be like, hey, put your jacket on, Uber's downstairs. And then we'd hop in the Uber, and then we'd go to some really nice restaurant and have dessert. And that was really mysterious, and it was fun, and it was always an adventure, because women ideally want to be entertained as much as they want to be led, and they want someone who has a purpose and a vision. They also want to be entertained, and if they get bored, they're gonna bounce, right? And so that's what I've realized. And then let's talk about real quick how to spot a good woman. Well, a good woman is going to love and support you. She's going to be your ride or die. Whether you have a beat up 1980s Buick or you're driving a Mercedes G-Wagon or a Ferrari, she does not care. What she does care about is your presence. What she does care about is how you treat her and how she treats you. Those are some things that I think a good woman is, and how a woman could benefit a man. And then there's all the little subcategories, right? I want my woman to be a good cook. I want her to take care of the household, which my girlfriend does. It's amazing. While I take care of the finances, and I take care of the direction of where we're going in the relationship. So a nice even balance of responsibilities is another thing that I really, really look for when I was dating, and I found it with my current girlfriend. In addition, you want a woman who lets you work, because I see a lot of guys, they date a girl and now they're whipped and they're hooked, and their work goes like this, their finances go like this, everything in their life, their fitness goes like this. You want a woman who says, honey, go work, go out and kill, go make money, go slay the dragons. I'll be here and wait, and I'll take care of everything else. That's the kind of woman that I want. That's the kind of woman my girlfriend is. And guess what? Ever since I started dating her, everyone was always like, oh, watch, your business is going to go and everything's going to go down. I'm more fit than ever. Financially, I'm doing better than ever. My business has gone like this because she's let me work. And that's something that most men do not get. And so even though it's a kind of a diamond in a rough, you need to find that woman who's going to let you work, who's not going to be attached to you 24/7, and who knows what you have planned in the future, and knows that if you can work now, your future together is going to be better because of it. In my opinion, I want a woman who's fit, who's healthy, who looks good, who looks clean, who takes care of herself. And this is just an opinion. This isn't a end all be all. But for me, I realize how you do one thing is how you do everything. And so if the woman that I'm dating, the woman that I'm married to, is clean cut, is fit, looks good, dresses nice, stays clean, I know that everything else in her life is in order as well. And sometimes it's not the case. But most of the time, if someone's fit, if someone's clean, if someone's healthy, everything else in their life is going good as well. Because how you do one thing is how you do everything. Lastly, you want a woman who shares similar beliefs, if not the same beliefs as you. Because if you don't, it's going to be really, really difficult later on in your relationship when it comes to having children, making decisions in the household and things like that. Depending on your religious beliefs, depending on your political beliefs. This isn't always the case, but what I've realized, what I've been told is that, and what I've experienced is that if your partner has different beliefs than you, it's going to be really hard, number one, to be 100% yourself all the time, be 100% transparent, and it's going to be really difficult in decision making in the marriage, and marriage decisions and financial decisions, and honestly raising your children in the way that you want to raise your children versus the way that your spouse wants to raise your children as well. So keep that in mind as well. But all this to say, be yourself, be confident, work your butt off, and look for the right woman. Look how she loves, look how she takes care of you, watch how she believes in you, look at her values, look at what she believes. And lastly, if you can be the best man you can be, you'll have no problem attracting the right woman. As always, I'm watching from afar. I wish you the best of luck. I love you and I support you. Keep getting after it and be the best man you can be.
They put up on the side. Ay, I let it get surprised. I'm on the perk, I've been closing my eyes. I can't even tell you nothing but you lie. I had a cut on my ties, I can't even tell her nothing cause I cried.